Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week I predicted that number 1 would be The Lion King, number 2 would be Spider-Man Far From Home, number 3 would be Toy Story 4, number 4 would be Crawl, and number 5 would be Stuber. And I got 4 out of 5 of my predictions right for this weekend. I was so close to getting a perfect 5, but the number 5 from last weekend was actually the same number 5 this weekend. So let's go over what happened in the overall top 10. Number 1 was, of course, without any doubt, The Lion King, which on its opening weekend has already outgrossed the entire run of Dumbo, which came out earlier this year. So I guess that's something to be really excited about. This movie made $185 million here domestically. Worldwide, it is already sitting at $531 million. The budget of this movie is $260 million, so the fact that it's already made $531 is definitely past the doubling point and $11 million over that. So, you know, that's something to be really proud of as far as like the production team and Jon Favreau, because this is also officially his highest opening weekend ever. His last highest opening was Iron Man 2's $128 million. This one easily crushed that. And this is also the highest opening weekend for any Disney remake that we have right now, which I think was to be expected. This had a lot of hype behind it because the original film is so beloved and people want to go see it again now that it has a photorealistic kind of look. So of course, people are going to come out in droves for this thing. And it's definitely going to make a ton of money as the weeks go by. If you're a part of the production of this movie, this is obviously something to be proud of. I've said this before with the Aladdin movie and other movies before that maybe weren't received too well, but you can't deny that financially this is going to break some records and it's going to do really well, and that's something to be proud of at least. Number 2, we have Spider-Man Far From Home making $21 million, adding to a domestic total of $319 million, and worldwide it is sitting at $970 million, which is a huge spike up, and worldwide it is now officially the highest grossing Spider-Man film, and it's $30 million away from not only being the first Spider-Man film to hit $1 billion, but the 9th MCU film to hit $1 billion, which is definitely something to be proud of, to join the MCU 1 billion club. And domestically, it is $15 million away from outgrossing Spider-Man Homecoming, which it definitely will do. And this is obviously a bunch of exciting news for the Spider-Man film. This is really great. It's breaking history for other Spider-Man films, but we do need to shoehorn in one new piece of news about the MCU that was officially announced yesterday at Comic-Con, that Avengers Endgame has officially become the highest grossing film worldwide of all time. It's past Avatar. It's sitting at $2,790 million, which is like super exciting. Now, maybe they did have to trick some people into seeing it again, as far as teasing like, hey, we're going to re-release the movie, but it's stuff like after the credits, and it's a bunch of lame stuff, except for like a cool Stan Lee tribute. But hey, they finally did it. This is a great achievement, and it actually is. Number 3, we have Toy Story 4 making $14 million, adding to a domestic total of $375 million. Worldwide, it is sitting at $859 million, so it's $208 million away from outgrossing Toy Story 3, and domestically, it's $40 million away. Now, the chances of it outgrossing Toy Story 3 domestically it could happen, you know. Stranger things have happened before on Box Office Talk, so this could potentially happen. Worldwide might be a little bit more of a stretch, but honestly, I still think it can do well. I think this movie is going to have people still coming out to see it next weekend and the week after that, so I definitely do think it still has the potential to outgross Toy Story 3, and if it doesn't, at least it'll have the knowledge that worldwide it is only $40 million away from outgrossing Finding Nemo, and I think it definitely can do that, so that's very good for this movie. Number 4, we have Crawl making $6 million, adding to a domestic total of $23 million, and worldwide it is sitting at $33 million, so it was able to double its $13.5 million budget, which is very good. Obviously, it made $6 million over that. I think maybe it could have the potential to triple the budget worldwide once it gets to $50 million, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see on that, like next weekend, if it gets any closer, or if it exactly does hit, then that's very exciting, obviously. Number 5, we have Yesterday, the same number 5 as last weekend, making $5 million, adding to a domestic total of $57 million, and worldwide it is sitting at $98 million. So the movie that just kind of opened up with really low numbers has now, in the span of like 3 weeks, something like that, has now almost made it to $100 million worldwide and has been able to stick around for this long, which is honestly kind of shocking to me. I thought this movie would be, after its opening weekend at least, it'd probably be like, okay, it's out, and now it's just going to slowly decline, but it's had a steady kind of rise as it's gone on, which is something to be proud of. Number 6, we have Stuber making $4 million, adding to a domestic total of $16 million, and worldwide it is sitting at $18 million. So it's nowhere close to doubling that $16 million budget that it has. I mean, maybe now that Kumail Nanjiani is officially cast in Eternals, and that's like officially a thing now, maybe more people will want to see this film because they recognize he's in it. But then again, you'd think people who are fans of Guardians of the Galaxy would go see it because of Dave Bautista and Karen Gillan, but they did not, obviously. Number 7, we have Aladdin making $3 million, adding to a domestic total of $340 million, and worldwide it is sitting at $988 million. And I'm going to assume it's going to be here next weekend, and I'm going to make a bold prediction. Not sure if it's going to come true, but since it's only $12 million away, I think next weekend will be the time where Aladdin hits $1 billion, and that'll be something to talk about for sure. Like, that's really exciting news for this film. Very similar to The Lion King. It's something that you can have your opinions on the movie, whatever, but financially you can't disagree that it's quite an achievement what they've been able to do as far as breaking their own records and stuff like that. I do think that a lot of attention is going to be taken away from Aladdin right now because a lot of people are going to be focused on The Lion King, but I really do think that it will be able to get to $1 billion by next weekend. Number 8, we have Annabelle Comes Home making $2 million, adding to a domestic total of $66 million, and worldwide it is sitting at $196 million. So it's only $4 million off from getting to $200 million worldwide. Once again, this might be one of the lower grossing Conjuring films. It's not the lowest, but it's one of the lower grossing ones, but at least it's almost at $200 million worldwide. That's still a pretty high number for a movie as low budget as Annabelle, like around $30 million. Number 9, we have Midsommar making $1.59 million, adding to a domestic total of $22 million, which officially means it was able to double its $10 million budget and make $2 million over that. Thank God, at least it's going out on the note that it was able to double that budget. I wish that the AMC Artisan thing kind of gave this movie the same kind of boost that some people are speculating it gave yesterday. But, you know, whatever. At least it doubled its budget and made $2 million over that. Whatever. I'll work with that. And finally, closing out the video, number 10, The Secret Life of Pets 2 making $1.53 million, adding to a domestic total of $151 million, and worldwide sitting at $318 million. Not much else to say about this film other than it's still one of the lower grossing Illumination films, but at least it's not as bad as what Hop did. But even then, Illumination could probably strive to do better if they worked on their stories more and made stuff more memorable than what The Secret Life of Pets 2 was, because I think that has a lot to do with why it didn't do that well in its entire run. But now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. Number 1, easily The Lion King once again. Number 2, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Number 3, Spider-Man Far From Home. Number 4, Toy Story 4. And number 5, Crawl. But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave them in the comments below, and if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then I'm sorry. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.